When you see a young child overweight, it can attract a lot of attention. This attention can lead to the questions, can obesity in young children be a sign of parental abuse? Obese children being considered abused by parents is an issue that has been debated by doctors, lawyers, and child welfare experts for years. My goal is to persuade my audience that raising an obese child should be considered child abuse because of debates that the root problem is parents aren't paying enough attention to what they feed their children. I will define the problem, point out some solutions, and I will point out my stance on the matter and actions. First, I will define the problem. According to the ABC News website in the article, Are Obese Children Abused Children? Obesity is usually part of a bigger problem. In a child protective service capacity, it would be seen as medical neglect. And that's just part of the whole picture. Lack of exercise and proper dieting leads to current and future health risks. When kids are overweight at any age, they're much more at risk of diabetes. With the rapid increase in child obesity and obesity-related conditions, this type of case is becoming more common. When families cannot or will not follow through with steps needed to decrease the impact of their child's obesity, it is questioned whether it is reportable child neglect. Next, I will point out some solutions to these problems. According to the Los Angeles Times website in the article, Pro-Con, does obesity qualify as child abuse? It states that for a small number of morbidly obese children, state intervention could be life-saving. State action on cases usually are a last resort after all other alternatives have been tried. Diet and exercise are the cornerstones of treatment for obesity. It is a safe and simple concept and will result in meaningful weight loss. In most cases of obesity, families can make an effort to address the problem when made aware of the condition and the potential health consequences. The development of childhood obesity can serve as a wake-up call for families, prompting full cooperation with intense medical services needed. Whenever obesity is noticed during childhood, physicians will recommend a healthy diet, exercise, and behavioral interventions, as well as the referrals to professionals with good expertise to ensure that reporting the situation as medical neglect is an option of last resort. Last, I will point out my stance on the matter and actions. According to the article, AMA Journal of Ethics website, does pediatric obesity indicate childhood neglect? Child neglect is typically defined as a failure of caregivers to seek or provide necessary medical care, placing the child at risk of serious harm. I am in favor of parents being charged with child abuse for obese children. Although there are medical conditions that cause children to become extremely overweight, such as Prader-Willi syndrome or hormonal imbalances, very young children often become overweight because their parents simply feed them too much. To classify childhood obesity as neglect is when the caretaker of a child fails to seek medical care, fails to provide recommended medical care, or fails to control their child's behavior that places the child at risk of serious harm, including death. Finally, it is recommended to involve local social services earlier rather than later. Social services should not be reserved only for situations that meet the criteria of reportable neglect. Social services agencies and child welfare professionals are experts at family assessments and identifying a family's need for services. Their in-home assessments will clarify the seriousness of the physician's concerns about the situation. Now you will understand why raising an obese child should be considered child abuse. Because of debates that the root problem is parents aren't paying enough attention to what they feed their kids. Obese children being considered abused by parents is an issue that has been debated by doctors, lawyers, and child welfare experts for years. Parents should be given chances to correct their child's obese state by either seeking medical help, laying out a proper diet and exercise routine, or they will expect to answer to the state on why the issues have not been changed. Childhood obesity is very bad for a young child's overall health. In present day and in their future, parents must take action to help their child or may be considered as abusive.